video is done playing for the moment. We're gonna pick on some different vehicles to play with instead of my usual John Deere's. So, I'm just trying to decide what I want and what kind of power levels I need to run this farm. What did they give me for space? Try to figure that out too. I still need to take care of a couple pieces there. Oof, I've got a chunk of land over there. Look at that. Looks like an empty field. Maybe a wheat field. Yeah. Oat or barley rather. Grass. And it's an empty space field. No, that's probably the cow field. Isn't it? Happy cows. Super furry and stuff. Holy moly. Alright. Where do we see that store? I don't know. Oh, up here. Okay. Well, what do we get so far? We need a harvester. Know that. Doesn't need to be anything big or fancy because we're only going to do so much for row crops, or regular crops. I don't know if I want to keep the well, because we got the same tractor they gave us. I just bought a newer model, a new copy of it. Didn't want one that was already damaged. Giving us the option to have something we can buy later as a used model if we wanted to get a second one of these. So I'll probably drop off the weight. I'm going to use things that will not require such a thing on my tractors. I think it's silly to have a weight on your tractor just to use an implement. If that's the case, you got the wrong tractor. We'll see if we need to fix up the quickie and the pallet fork. Paint. 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 Nothing. Okay. Alright, so that's that piece of the puzzle. What is the status on our field over here, the one that's empty? Plowed. So I need cultivator and go from there. So I do have precision farming turned on. We sold all the stuff from the farm and we only come up a mill 3. Oh, I kept the tipper. That's what it is. So this is the tipper they give you. Or if it needs repairs too. I hate starting with stuff that needs repair. I kind of like the idea of the quad steer on the tractor. It works. And I know Sid, he's going to go straight to this as his go-to starting tractor. There's no second guessing on that. He's a JCB nut right now. I might pick up one of those Fiats as my alternate. Use this for certain things and use it for other things. I apologize if anybody can hear the gardener in the background. It's a condo, not an apartment, so I own the place, but we still have a gardener that takes care of the outside. Repaint. Oh, not touching the paint job. Okay. Bunning. What's the capacity on a bunning? 19.3. Well, you know what? We need a combine. That's at the top of our list. I'm not going big. I'm actually going to go very, very small and very, very cheap. Mm. I think I like those best. Not running anything that needs the corn head right now. So we're going to start out with this thing. And the JCB. Right. And I think I want to get a truck that I can tow that thing home with. Throw it on the back of a rig instead of trying to drive it back. We could. It's a crawler. It's too big for this area, though. You know, being Europe, namely Scotland, maybe I'll go for something a little smaller and a little less super powered, like I usually get. The TLX is more of an American style truck. Don't see them in Scotland too much, I would imagine. It's either the MAN or the Tatra. What's this thing got? Tops out 540 horse. It's got connectors on the back so we can use it. I like the idea of using it. Not much care about warning signs and flashy lights and stuff like that we never use. See? Now, if they gave me the four-way flashers, you know, the regular hazard lights, that'd be one thing. All we get on console are these stupid things up top that blink. I don't see a Marauder badge anywhere. Oh. Top truck for rent? No. Man with the lion. Nah. Don't need any of that. We'll go the bull bar though. Kick a GPS in there. Front attacher, sure, why not? I kind of like leaving it just the way it is. I always go after the chrome rims. I don't know why. And I want the low loader to take stuff on. So, a little bit smaller flatbed than some people might like. I've always played with the Flegel trailers, So I know their capabilities pretty easily. And they are capable of quite a bit more than people realize. And if all those truck bay doors over here opened up, that would be a totally different ball of wax. Because that'd be kind of a cool thing. You buy a truck, you roll it out to that garage, you come in to get it serviced, you go to the correct bay to get it serviced. Stuff like that. That would be neat. But of course, Giants made those doors not open. Oh, and through a little bit of research, playing around with something, I've discovered that if you're going to use a swathing mod, this combine is not compatible with that. Apparently takes more power. So, that gets that on there. I've always liked the MAN trucks. They're nice, simple little trucks. Easy to handle, easy to drive. And reasonably quiet in first person. I am surprised they didn't put that reverse view camera in here. But then this is a mod and would have to be modified some more. So there you have it. Where's our place? It's further up than this, I think. Up here to the right. Maybe I shouldn't have bought. Well, I wanted to see if it needed fixing, so that worked out on the bunning. I might hang on to that as my tipper for a little while. We'll see. We'll see just what kind of power it can handle. I have no idea. I don't back up trucks for a living, so otherwise I'd probably be able to do that first person, but not me. I'll tuck this in here for now. Grab our JCB and we'll head back to the camp. Well, the house anyway. And maybe one of these times we'll do a survival on here where we come up with nothing but, you know, $1 and a fishing pole or something. Pretend we have nothing but the fishing license. Can we get there from here? Oh, steering sensitivity. It's a very nice little tractor. No fancy screens or anything, just simple radio. Buttons over there. Got knobs and switches and doohickeys and thingamabobs all on the right. And the left is completely blank. Isn't that amazing how many right-handed people there are that drive with their left? Okay, so far the other way was much easier than this. We're going to struggle bus going up the hill empty. Thank you. In a little JCB. So the intention here is to try and turn a profit. Ooh, that's gonna be imports, exports, something like that. A train. Oops, took a wrong turn then, didn't we? Yep, we need the other side of the railroad tracks. Best way to discover stuff is to go for a ride. I just wish Giants would realize not everybody plays in kilometers and show miles per hour on the dashboard, like the heads-up display has. So right now it's arguing whether it's doing 24 and 25 or 14, 15. Whatever have you. I find it kind of funny. Nope, that's not it. We're gonna need a way to get some bedding for the animals that we've got, and some food. Alright, that gets us about half of the equipment we'll need. Need something to pick up straw, we'll need some other tools and things. However, I'm going to take a quick break. Hopefully YouTube plays commercials for those who don't have the subscription paid while I'm away. With any luck, I really don't know. I don't think I have commercials on this channel yet. I'm not monetized enough to do so. But we're going to have a quick commercial break here, so to speak. And speaking of commercials, if you're on Twitch, go ahead and hit the button to follow the channel. Subscribe if you would. It does cost a little bit, but it's worth it. Get some money into the channel so we can get some equipment. Things like a capture card, and then I could do fancier stuff with my videos. I do have a computer available to me, but you know, a capture card would make it to where I could put the videos into an editor the easy way and be able to not just have raw videos on YouTube. Also would make it to where we can do other things to upgrade the channel a little bit. And I have heard some of these characters out there that are offering help with, you know, the artwork and whatever else have you. I'm not really looking for art help. I'm looking for donations. If you've got somebody that can donate to the channel, then we'll talk. But I'll be right back. Okay. Got something to drink so the voice lasts a little longer. Let's take and get some work done in the fields. This harvester is not going to take long to fill up. I recognize that. I'm okay with it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go a little bit more realistic than I usually play this time around. Um, just because I'll hire that up on a worker, go and get the tractor. Keep that out there in the field nearby. How realistic I'm gonna play, but something. Obviously, smaller tool there. Tip this over here. Oh, I did it. Somewhere along the line. Okay, that's actually the chaff bunker. Silage bunker. Sorry. Clear my throat. Let's take, run this over to here. I'm gonna leave this on the 200. And I'm just gonna buy another tractor. Something that can take care of mowing around the edge there. I'm not gonna buy a huge mower, just gonna get something nice. I think I'm gonna go back to one of my go-tos. So far, I don't need much power on the farm. I don't really come up with any excuse to have more power. But I do like the all-wheel drive that this offers. And the horsepower is good to have. Tuck that in my pocket so I have another front loader tool available. We're going to come down here. I like the idea of this. Shovel. I don't care about that. I do want to paint it my John Deere green. Because I'm not going to have an all JCB run. I'm going to have a yellow and green. What else do I need in the farm? Need a cultivator. Because that field is plowed. Nothing else, just plowed. I can handle the 110 horse there. Dang!
Ain't my fault. That's what you had at.
Or I can go down here to the 31 horsepower types. I'm a little itty bitty guy. Or this thing at 160 horse is too much. So I think I'm gonna go with the John Deere base game unit. That's fine and dandy and fine. And nothing has come up on here because all they've given me up here is stuff that I can't use. It's too dang big. I don't know why they have this on here. Highlands Fishing. That thing is huge compared to what I have for tractors right now. Well, maybe one of these days. But that's the price of a tractor right there. And I need more horsepower than that. That thing's almost worth grabbing and trading back in. Because it doesn't do the onions that I'm thinking of doing. Okay, I want to see something. Does anything in here do onion? Or what in here can do onion? I know I can go to the onion section and you'll find the one and only thing, probably, that's available to us. But I'm just looking to see for my own reference. Aha. That does quite a bit more.
Pumpkin donuts.
Gesundheit. So that might be worth getting another tractor, a little bigger, heavier duty one. 300 horse. It plants, well, seeds a bunch of other things. I still don't see onion on that list though. But it does add corn and sorghum, sunflower, and soybean, sugar beet, cotton, and peas. Or green beans, I forget which. And then there's the little guys. Okay, so not in the cedars. What is the symbol for the onion on here? I'm not even sure. And then, of course, this thing does everything. Or almost everything. Plant all the way out to the poplars. Okay. So it's not in there. There was a roller or something that could plant stuff. Yeah, that's still the same old, same old. Okay. And there was a weeder that had the same capability. Yeah, see, minor stuff. That's considered a cultivator? What? Why isn't that under cultivators? That takes a lot less power for a lot less price tag right now. Even that's less power needed. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. Down pressure springs. Yeah. You know what? We're returning that other one. This thing's got a bigger working width. 9.1 versus what we bought previously. That says that it does weeds, not cultivates. I'm confused. Okay, we're gonna continue shopping though here. Beets, heads, and whatnot. Root crops. Is it in with this stuff?
Hello.
There you are. That's the onion symbol, kind of an orange onion. Vegetable. No. Nope. Just as spinach, just as green bean, just as peas. Redunculus. Like onion harvesting. Yeah, okay. That's all they give us to work with. The Hilarious and the Grimmy. Why would they do that to me? Especially if they're gonna pop off the head on the self-propel. What? But that looks like a tractor 3-point triangle. Can we put the header from the Hilarious on here? Wouldn't that be hilarious? But that's $500,000 for an onion harvester. Interesting. This is the header, and it hooks up that 3-point and the PTO. I don't know. I don't care about lighting. I'm not doing this at night. Really? Not doing it in the fog either. I'll have to think about that one. Onion planter. It's the only thing that'll plant onions. Here, it packs. Just so. Yeah, that's what it's suggesting. That's the medium New Holland. We kept that out of all this. Oh, we replaced it with a new cop. No, we've kept that. Drop kicked that thing. That's their suggestion for a cultivator. Ugh. 3 meters. Who's gonna want to do things at 3 meters? But yeah. And then the consumables. A vegetable pallet. The liftable vegetable pallet. Interesting. That does not do onion. Okay, so that's it for that. And then we get into the specialties. Which, to be quite honest, onion ought to be, well, I think onion's right where it needs to be. It's under vegetables. Kind of annoying. So right now I've got animals, and I got to figure out how to feed them. I don't have much to feed them with. I got to check on that harvester. Oh, button. One too many buttons. I turned off crop destruction. If anybody saw the beginning of the video, they saw that. Come up here to practically the diagonal corner of the map, of the farm field. We'll flip our U-turn here. Come up and empty out the little John Deere. Oops, maybe not. The JCB shoots all. Really? As a very little harvester. Very little. Maybe we'll have to get one of those other kinds of tippers. The one with the spout thing on the side. It's escaping me right now. Auger wagon. Sorry. Brain malfunction. Well, so far this is handling 9%. And that's already got 21% of it back in it. Actually, we're going to take this back down to the store and get this all set up. And I don't know if that's a weeder or if that's a cultivator now. We're going to find out. It says cultivator and they put it under weeders. I think that's kind of ironic. So maybe we'll collect both tools. I don't know. Find out. But we're going to give us some room in the store area to turn around. And get our truck up here and turn it around. Ooh, so this I cannot tow with that trailer. Interesting. So I'm not sure if I'm keeping the crops I'm pulling in or what I'm up to here. I might hold on to them for time and then try and see if I can process them into things. Been watching DJ Goham's videos regarding the recipe for fish foods and things like that. And other stuff. Nope, I think we took a wrong turn. That's town. What? Took a wrong turn. Well, we'll cruise through town, go across the tracks, see what all's there, and come back around to the store. We'll just keep making right turns. Oh, that looks like the starting point for our survival series right there, the bus stop. We come into town with nothing. Maybe that'll be a thing. Oop, that's not a lane, that's drop-off points. Found it. Either that or we're going to come in on a boat. Maybe that'll be a thing. Hey, I got an idea. Let's see, where is it? Fish food factory. They want flour, soybean, and canola oil. Olive or rice or sunflower oil. Well, I don't think I have any of those crops on my fields right now. So we have to make that stuff before we can make fishy food. Now I can put down fishies, you know, the young fishies, and just sell them, but where's the real fun in that? It doesn't get us out to the aquaculture and buying a boat and all that kind of good fun. Or we sell fish until we can afford to upgrade to fish. I don't know. Does that make any sense? This is a nice sized field over here. 6. Traffic circle. So, the Americans have adopted this stupid traffic circle idea, and to be honest, they don't work the way they're intended, as far as I can tell. People just kind of ignore the rules of the road on that, and just do as they darn well please in them, and nobody bothers with a turn signal to let people know they're entering or exiting the circle. And to be honest, it's a lost art to know when to signal in a circle. I bet you if I ask my wife right now, she wouldn't know the answer. Not that she's paying an ounce of attention to anything but her own thing. That's not going to work too well. No, is it? A much longer trailer to deal with that. Let's see what kind of trouble we get in here. Can I straighten it out while it's down? Nope. It just went totally wonky. And then it gets stuck. That wasn't helpful. That made it worse. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, the truck won't be able to pull that home. How interesting. Here's a drawbar item. It's not really a 3-point. It's a 2-point connection. Okay. Yeah. So the John Deere that actually is cultivator in the store, and then the John Deere that is cultivator by name only so far. Let's see what kind of state that field gets if I put this down on it. And I'm trying to stick to the rules of Scotland's roads, but I do have traffic turned off, I think. No, traffic's on. How interesting. Looks like there's some very nice fields, and then there's some that are just on a hill. It's gonna make for a pain. Alright. We'll go to the end of the other end of this field and see what trouble we get in here. Whoops. Sorry, Mr. Double-Decker Bus. Yeah, I'm in Scotland. Okay. Where's my harvester? The other end of the field. And full again. I'm gonna see if I can work with the base game buildings they give me to work with and see what trouble we get in with them. As far as storage capacities and stuff go. I'm not gonna sell anything just yet. I'll find some other way to make some money. Wow, it made it around to there again. Just in the reverse direction. We could have gone out to the road at that rate. I guess Bunning is one of the big brands for trailers like this. I don't know. I'm not much of a real world farmer. I'm a digital farmer like some others out there. Don't have any experience with any of this stuff in the real world. I'm gonna stop that here. Oh, there's that field that's empty. Let's pull a U-turn and go visit it. So the object for today is just to get the product out of the ground and maybe do some plowing. Huh? How does this thing work? Now see, it listed as a weeder. But it clearly named it, they clearly named it a cultivator. Wish these guys would make up their minds. Is it cultivate or is it weed? Drop it down, see what happens. None. It is, it's a weeder. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna run this thing back to the farm for a minute, and I have a John Deere weeder then. Aren't you just amazed? Then why would the modder have named it a cultivator? It did not cultivate the ground. Does feel weird driving on the left. Only in Europe are they that backwards. It is to absolutely hate left-handed people and drive on the left side of the road all at the same time. There was a point in time where if you were discovered to be left-handed, they forced you to learn to write with your right. That's Europe for you. Looks like I have a pallet of seed and nothing much else. I could totally have put in a work table in here for the storage of a chainsaw and whatnot. I think that harvester is stopped again. So we're gonna go over and visit him. I must have missed the notification if it ever came up. Oh. Pipes on the product side. How nice. This won't take long. See? Done. He's just hauling tail and enjoying life. It feels weird to take this thing home empty, except for that being towed on the trailer. Behind the trailer, rather. Huh. I need something else. I got pallet forks, I got a bucket. I could feed animals, I can pick up pallets. What else? I just don't know. What else I want to get right now? Animals need water? I don't think they do. If they do, I'm taking that pen out and putting something else in. That does not need water. And that needs water. How nice. Very well. We're going to have to get a barrel for water. I don't want to give them much at a time. Or I want to give them plenty. I haven't decided. I did say something about not wanting to do too much unrealistic stuff, necessarily. Don't have a pickup truck or something small to tow that with at the moment. Might pick that up. I'll hold off for a minute. How many cow food I can get in here? Mineral feed. TMR in a big bag. I don't have TMR. Well, that stinks. Put down a buying station and just do it. Have an empty pallet at all? I think we took out the empty pallet that we had in there. We weren't using it much. Refillable IBC. Veggie pallet doesn't hold more than just veggies. Interesting. You know what? We'll just drive it home. I'm done with it. Oop. We are going to test that cultivator out. This one I know works, but I'll put this thing back in the yard. Okay, this is just where I'm going to park the semi for now. Oh good, it's over here for a change. There we are. Unload that. Just something of a calm afternoon project. Oh, we're parked in the way. Okay, as things stand, what are my power ratings? I know I could pull the baler with the John Deere, but as things stand. I got 150 horse there. And 146 horse there. So, if I'm going after baler, like that, it don't take that much. So it'd be just fine. Either model. I think I can disconnect from this and go get the baler. Or I can just use the John Deere to run back and forth, but it won't make a difference. That definitely gives the cultivate state. And I don't see any stones. Well, we have a weeder. We have a cultivator. Cultivator's out and busy. I don't know if this tractor's going to take on that bunning nicely or not. It ought to, but I never can tell. 4 horsepower may make all the difference in the world. You know. Seems a little slower than usual, but this thing is struggle busing with that lightweight thing? Considering? Sheesh. Okay. We're gonna go rescue this thing again. Giants, update your GPS track lines so that the harvester comes up with the pipe pointed the other way more often. I'm not sure what that collision was, but it wasn't fun. Yep. I got one tractor carting, I got one tractor cultivating, or doing donuts, I don't know which. Anyway, cutting a field. I have to have something to go and get that baler. So I can bale up the straw from that field. And I don't know what else at the moment. We're gonna sit and watch this guy work for a bit. Alright, helps to have the headset turned, pointed the right direction, doesn't it? Anyhow, pardon the second interruption here. Don't know why they do double laps or whatever the heck they're doing here. And leave spaces like they've always done. That makes no dang sense to me at all. Worse yet, he turned off the quad steer. The worker has turned off my quad steer. Why, I'll never know. Yeah, that's Farm Sim 15 level plowing there. Why is he turning right to go left? Says an excuse to go around in circles. That's why. I can't watch it. I can't watch it. It's just unintelligent to me how they do that. Alright, so I think barley, I might just buy the grain mill because we needed flour as one of our ingredients.
Did you make up your pizza already?
Yeah, why? Yeah. I think the harvester is seeing a collision in the cabin that's not there on this tractor. I don't know where these laser brains learn to drive. We'll go get that baler. Just come back with it. Cows need the straw. They're not ones that do milk, are they? I think DJ said something about them not doing milk. Yeah. You just raise them and then sell them. Or at the very least, they don't do milk in this pen because this pen is not capable of milk. Base game asset. Nope, 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 wrong turn. Not that one. This one. Yeah. It looks kind of silly to pull this with a semi, but that's what I've got available to me. And they are nearly full again. Well, we got through 2 other rows. Started another. Making progress. You know, I've been talking to myself this whole time. I had the darn thing muted. Sorry, folks. So all those are intended for is the Unimogs. Wonder if anything else out there can handle them. There's our Unimogs. 70,000 and 261,000. Oof. Might be expensive there. And then there's the JCBs here. If we were to stick with the brands that we like, which is going to be JCB and John Deere. So Giants put out a 4,000. Because the other 4,000 that we've got, a modded one, tops out at 235. Yeah, that's even numbers. Still does 37. The weight is different. That's interesting. And the Giants model has fewer slots, 10 slots instead of 19. An effect on console players only, mostly. Interesting. Don't care about window control. Not bothering with a bunch of that stuff. GPS. Agriculture frame. I think there's 4 connector pieces on the back of this thing. I wonder if that would hook up to the Unimog connectors. There's only one way to find out, and that's to, mess with it. And it does have the ISRA. That's the modded version.
Charge your phone. I didn't get done.
Big surprise.
1 or 2 left.
Dead? Let's see. 4220. Throw some of that. The Giants version actually has more wheels so far. Just in Michelin alone. You can throw some center weight to it, looks like. Don't care with that. Quickie. Gives it a whole framework to work with. And my Giants one does have the ISRA. And it had the wheel weights I want. You know what? We're going to play with the Giants model. God. Okay. We still need something that hauls liquids. Maybe we'll come back down here. What do I want? What do I want? seem to be going for a JCB farm at the moment. Like somebody else we know. So we're still going to be able to get in and out of the yard, which is kind of a small yard. Not too big, but not too small either. And you can't use the 7500. It does not do fuel. I can IT runner it, but that means a whole nother thing. I don't know. Or we could double cross the world. 20,000 liters at a time. 3-point connector, I think. Isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, 3-point. I'll leave the chrome alone. Go for the capacity. Frame color. Go to the deer. Or the JCB yellow. Arguing with myself now. Because I'm taking it home on a JCB. Doesn't mean it's staying on a JCB. It's going on the little deer, I think. We're going to go that way with it. What is it hitting on? It's clearly not. Really? It's hitting on the invisible extension on this trailer. Oh, that's so biggie. Why are you sitting still? You're fired.
Maybe they needed a break.
You know, a break when they're finished with the job. It doesn't take that long. I don't know what in the world they think they're doing. And again, that harvester's left a tuft of stuff behind. Okay, I'm gonna have to switch out the JCB and the John Deere here, cause yeah, I need something more powerful for the tipper now. I don't think this is gonna make the hill into the farmyard. Either that or we're gonna put the grain cart on the bloody semi-truck. One or the other. I had something in my eye. We're gonna get this field finished off. I think I'm gonna call it because I'm starting to fall asleep on the game, so. It's always fun to have a new map to explore, a new DLC to play with, all the new toys and tools, but just started a new job just yesterday, so it's kind of draining my batteries with that. That is going to take some time. Okay, then we're going to need some way to plant plants. I haven't forgotten about that part. Don't know that I'm going to go into onions just yet. I think I might stick to my old standby there. John Deere. Yeah. 8350 makes sense.
Damn it.
And don't care that I'm still streaming. Again. Alright. I have to locate some water. Look. A stream. There's a rock there. like it's a cedar, huh? No consumables in it, but cedar. To work on that. Let's see what this thing weighs. Yeah, it weighs next to nothing, considering. I don't know. Do I want to put water in here, or do I just want to tear it out and start again? For right now, animals need water until I make my decision on tearing it out. I think we'll take our water tank and put it in our new barn over here. There's some excuse to have the place.
on the microwave.
Oh, looks like just in case her video decides to get loud again, I'm gonna have to go silent just in case something comes up that's copyrighted on the video across the room. I don't know exactly how sensitive these headphones can be on that. Needless to say, dare anybody else in the house have any sound. Yeah, looks like it's full again. Why do they get to waste my fuel? Why? Why do you need to lift the cultivator right there? Why? You're fired. Deal with it myself. So, we're starting to bleed some money up there. Down to 692. Finances aren't what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be doing a lot better than that. We're down 307,000 bucks. Means we've spent, close to 700,000 on equipment, vehicles and whatnot. I wonder if they know that wall is very sticky. Well, he got down to the end of the line, turned around. Wonder if he'll get all the way up the next line. I believe that side of the field gets a little bit shorter each time. For a little bit there. And of course it does even out a little bit here and there. Yeah. So, I know not the most exciting gameplay out there, certainly not the most energetic right now. It's kind of after work when I've just started a new job and my battery's a little drained personally, but this is just something to relax. And I hope the stream is reasonably relaxing, the video too. If you're over on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button, especially if you do like my work. consider subscribing if you're not already. Hopefully you are. Hopefully you hit that right away. I mean, why not? It doesn't cost anything on YouTube. And then on Twitch, follow. On both of them, hit the notifications so that you know when I'm online. I don't go online all that often, so if you're looking for just a laid-back, chill stream, once in a while I get a friend online with me, Sid. SidAround1 from Twitch. And we'll get into some shenanigans, typically with a tractor like this, the JCBs. That's his go-to brand, kind of like John Deere's mine. We're going to get into some mischief on this map, I'm sure. Especially the fishing boats. If you've been watching other YouTubers that are out there, you'll know the DJ Go Ham and Farmer Cop got into it already when it comes to the boats. They got into quite a bit of mischief. They actually are on PC, so they could pick up the boat and they took it upstream where the boat really cannot get on its own. I couldn't do that right now. I'm on an Xbox. So, there's that. And his content is, well, far more engaging that way, because it's something to laugh at. So, if you like that sort of thing, well, go for his channel. I'm good with that. I watch it regularly, so I don't mind passing along a viewer here and there. You'll have to look him up. I don't have a clue how to set up links on YouTube, so I'll let you guys worry about that on your own. But if you look up something simple like Farm Sim News, you're gonna find his channel. Or, you know, you look up Farmer Cop, he's on YouTube as well. Okay, where's the guy? All the way at the other end of things. Again. With like 2 stripes to go, 3 stripes to go at the most. Really? Seriously? Unbelievably. Say no, it's being blocked by an object. I'm the object. Crazies. Oh, that emptied them out again. And away they go. This thing's starting to get heavy. Oof. Going for realism on the weight class on this trailer. I like the bunning, the bunning trailers look. It's simple, it's elegant, it does the job. Not a brand I've ever heard of because I don't farm in the real world, but you know, that's just kind of the nature of the beast. I'm sure some real world farmer out there is looking at my video right now laughing and planning to change the channel. Because they know nothing about what I know, and, you know. They expect somebody on YouTube to know what they're doing. Well, I got news for you. I got you fooled. I don't know nothing, you know? At least on this stuff. But that harvester's getting closer to done. I can't say the same for the cultivator over there. That base game cultivator and the tractor being used is apparently not the combination to be had, which in itself is pathetic. Base game equipment, it should work perfectly. Unbelievable that they could release a game with equipment that just does not work like that. Or maybe it's the tractor. It doesn't work with that particular model of cultivator. I don't know. How did that get past testing? Can't handle base game equipment? let alone modded stuff. Interesting. Oh yeah, and it's a DLC tractor with a base game cultivator over there. Not modded at all. How about them apples? Come on, Giants. You didn't test your own stuff. How do we trust you to test the mods that are coming out? I may sound like I'm giving them a hard time, and in a way I guess I kinda am. But, you know, it's stuff like that where they deserve it. They didn't make it work right. Alright, looks like our harvester is getting closer to done. The worker for the harvester even got stuck on this map, and I don't know why. There was no purpose, no rhyme, no reason, nothing in the way. Just said, I'm just gonna sit here and collect a paycheck. Okay, so it looks like he's got one more turnaround over there. Just based on things. Yeah, moo cows, moo yourself. You're gonna get some stronum in it here. I might feed you. I might just sell you off. I wonder if the harvester worker is gonna go back through and clean up the mess they made previously, or if they're gonna actually sit there and leave it and claim to be done when they finish that little line. Nope, they claimed to be done and they left it. Big surprise. Oh, we've run this thing out of fuel. It's dead. Finished the field and it ran out of fuel. Dead. Well, that makes for a difference. What the heck? It took... Oh, yeah, this thing doesn't have... yeah, okay. I was thinking I was on the baler. Alright, well that has more power than this, and this needs to be able to unload that into this. I'm gonna switch it out. Something I should have done to begin with. I still gotta figure out how to fuel up that harvester now. That's the first time I've had something in the field actually run out of fuel. I think maybe if I'd been more attentive to the harvester, it wouldn't have run out of gas, though. So that's on me. That'll hold fuel. And there's stuff like this that you can strap down. That might be the answer, but I still need something that'll pull it. I don't want to pull it with a tractor, they're slow. And I have to pick up the bales of something too, so I'm gonna have to have a flatbed. Maybe a truck. So one of those tanks I was looking at is actually from the modified CV. It's a possibility to use that. This isn't too bad. Running this baler at about half the speed this tractor's capable of. Kinda makes sense. Baler's a little bit heavy. That would take some of the power. Has a horsepower requirement. That takes some of the power. And oh yeah. So, I think what we might do... Come up here. This is the one I'm thinking of. Don't want that flatbed. I want this flatbed. Throw that. Lizard tire. Side guards, yes. Don't care about the step cover. Day cab, because I don't need the crew. I don't have 4 people to play with. And I'm leaving the color alone. 83,000 bucks for a truck. Then we're coming back down here. Whoop. Yeah, I thought so. Needs to turn around. And the other question stands, where do I fill up such a tanker? If I did put in a service tank, or something. Gas station. Okay. So there's a gas station on the map, unlike some of the other European maps, but this one has a town, and the other maps I'm thinking of are more of an estate type. So mostly it's a farm, not a town to go sell stuff in. This one's got both, which is okay. Let's see about that transfer tank. This thing. Maybe? Yeah. And we're gonna go after this. So we have it. I don't see much else I need to worry about right this minute. Does that animal pen even take straw? No, it does not. Hay, silage, grass, and TMR. I got water. Huh. Doesn't take straw. But, oh no, the other was sheep. I got a pig farm on the map. Or a pig barn on the map, anyway. I haven't really gone looking to see where that is right now. But I bet you it takes a straw. No. All we've got is sheep and cows. Okay, that makes more sense. Well, yeah, sheep. Interesting. That's full. 30% on health, 30% on productivity, and 37% puberty for the youngins. And then got kind of the same deal going here, but there's no productivity rating because they don't produce anything really. Those things are usually lightweight. I could strap it, but that's about as good as that gets. Well, let's just get the rest of this going. I gotta get some fuel so I can get that harvester going again and finish this place. That is a thing. It died on us. Ran it out of fuel. Not a big gas tank. I don't know where these guys learned to plow a field. It wasn't real good. And yeah. Maybe if I take care of the headland, then they can do something? I don't know. Maybe they're just being lame. Wouldn't surprise me any. We're down closer to the 500,000 mark than we were before. So much spending at the beginning of a game. Quad steer is quite useful. So in case anybody's wondering, no, I'm not abandoning Saxlingham. I am going to play that one still. But I'm going to play this for a little bit. Play that one. I think that one's going to be more the roleplay series, and this is just going to be a for fun series. If that makes any sense to some. And that's great. I wonder though. I wonder what kind of damage I could do with nothing but a fishing pole. And see if I could build up, you know, an amazing farm from practically nothing. I think what I would do to start such a series is move to September right away and set it for the 28-day month and see what kind of damage I could do then. I know, it's a long time to get through a month on this game. But I think that might be the way to do a role play. Is to do, 28-day month. Now in here, they've got all kinds of things going on, like a stone quarry, which is not something Farm Sim typically has too much, unless it's like a modded map. There've been a couple of stone basins so that you could get stones for lime, but that was always about it. They've started putting in the, concrete factory, I think it was, on Riverbend, and they're starting to get a little more into the mining aspect of being a farmer. Somehow they're connected, I don't know. I thought mining industry and farming industry were two different things, but apparently when a farmer gets bored, he goes over and, mines for gold or something. Or maybe he mines for gold so he can afford to farm. Who knows? Again, I'm not real world farmer, so it's kind of hard to say. But as far as my digital farm goes, well, I'm going to have to come up with some kind of an income stream here. Maybe selling that cattle off, or at least the older ones, might be a thing. I might keep the babies in that pen. But, I'd be disappointed if they're not milk producers. Because I would imagine that Scotland and other highland areas like this might need such a thing as, a way to get milk for babies and whatnot. And other animals. I know this field's not going to be pretty when it comes to the plow job, but the worker fouled that up nicely. I'm a bit upset with them. Okay, that's the end of that line. So what we need to do is flip around here. I'm going to catch this outside edge. They didn't even get that. This is where they kept getting stuck. Why? Nobody will ever know. I mean, did the traffic drive by too fast or too close? Or, I don't know. Some kind of program error. So, just to give anybody who usually watches my channel a quick heads up, I will not be on Thursday morning. That's just not going to be a thing. My wife does do Grand Theft Auto online on that day in the morning. So, if we get together on that, it'll be in the afternoon or evening, Thursday. But as of right now, that's not a schedulable thing for me. Position I accepted is Monday through Friday and mornings, daytime, whatever you want to call it. And I have got a lot of catching up to do in my stores, as the previous person in this position did not do the job as described. So, he left me quite the mess. I'm not upset about it. I just need the time spent toward the beginning of my time on the job to catch up and keep up at that point. But some would see this as, cleaning up after someone else's mistakes, which in a way it is. And some would see it as, well, I'm going to put it as bluntly as I can, and hopefully nobody gets too offended. The other associate, the person who left this position when they terminated him, I have a funny feeling his give a damn was broken. And at the end, he just didn't care. That's just my opinion on it, though, to be quite honest. And it's sad that anybody would end up in that situation where they just don't care anymore about a job. Okay, well, this is going to be a whole nother ball of wax. I think I'm going to do it on a different stream. I'm kind of fading on this. Set this up in a corner here. Don't think I'm going to use this tractor for this project anymore. I'll probably do what I've done before and swap it out for my John Deere. So, a DLC tractor and a base game cultivator, you run it yourself or else, because the worker is still just as terrible. Plus, this has the forks. So if I run the John Deere with the cultivator, and run this to get the bales out of the field, and the CV truck over here with some fuel in it, that could be useful. Oops, save. And I need to know where that fuel point is. The gas station. Tag the place. From here, it's like it's off behind me somewhere. Alright, let's see what kind of damage we can do over here. It might be not in town. Town was to the north. Down south here, that's interesting. Stick to this main road here. Okay, well that wasn't so hard to find. I don't know if this thing's liftable after you fill it, though. Or if I have to have the other flatbed in order to attach it. Yeah. We have to have the other flatbed to attach it to the bed. That's what this ends up being. can't fill this thing by hand. Great. Just my luck. I don't want the other flatbed. Why do I gotta have that? It's kind of a pretty little bridge. Guilty. Okay. Come here, tank. I have to have something to manipulate that with. I don't know. Flat deck. 9,500 bucks to put on the wrong back for what I want to do. I want to be able to haul stuff, not just have a stupid fifth wheel on here. Come on. Okay, it mounted. Why can't it mount to the other one? Phooey. I don't like this design. This is not my idea. If I wanted to do something like this, I'd just do a service bed. I have no intention of running a service bed. Just wanted to put the little tank on there and fill it. Ah, why do you have to go off the road? Come on, truck, play nice. All right, gas station, round 2, fight. That's just throwing it in the little tank. $450 liters later. Not gallons, liters. And liters are smaller than gallons. But anyway. Oh wait, it's out by the road. No point going into the yard just to go back out to the road. Right? Oops. Not that close, game. Huh? Okay, now I think it's going into the harvester. Good. Empty what's in here into the tipper. I'll make 2 runs of the tipper, this size tipper. Not even a big tipper, just that tipper. Ain't even close to big. pull this stuff up that it just neglected to get. Didn't do too bad, but I'm looking at the yield map down there on the left, and boy, is that ever not very strong. Strongest side was the west side? Ouch. Maybe it's the only part that got fertilizer previously. I don't know. I haven't run the scanner yet. Alright. Oh, we gotta go over to the tipper again. I wonder if this grass is even harvestable. Okay, so that's supposed to be a trailer intended for things like the onions that come with the DLC. Apparently it's not going to be a very high yield product either, but enough to do the job when the time comes, hopefully. Let's see about putting this thing away. Oh, where to park it? Where to park it? Where to park it? Where to park it? Maybe it's gonna go in that red barn. John Deere harvester in a red barn. Who knew? Almost American about it. No, actually, it's just gonna go just inside the gate here because we're gonna have to harvest in other fields. Probably on an extreme. It's been fun. It's been real. Well, it's been kind of real fun. But, what else have I got to harvest? $23 and $35. One of them is grass. The other one is crop. This one, I believe, was oat. No, wheat. Right? Yeah, wheat. This was barley. Get that up. That was nothing to start with. And this is grass. Yeah. So let's gather some more troops and trucks and treasures and stuff. Do want to finish my baling, stuff like that. Oop, I guess I have the thing still down. There we go. Gotta get it nice and gentle like. I missed. I was trying to back over this. He's just going through the gears.
Stairs are coming to me. Come upstairs. Level here first.
Now that I got where I'm going, it finally activates the correct line. Goofy. Wonder if I can even pick up the grass around here, other than the field. If I can, I gotta figure out a way to collect it in this thing. No, still have some straw to collect. Now that's interesting. DJ put wheat in here and it went on the other side. I put barley in and it goes on that side. Very interesting. Oh, we got 30,000 in there. if I were selling it straight. Logistics Center East. Well, therein lies the problem. Half a million in debt. Well, not debt, but just not a profit, a loss for the month. Trying to figure out how to fix that, but we'll get there. I'm not too worried. Let's get this thing into the yard, and if I can, get their tank off of it. Or that's all this truck's getting used for. I don't know. We'll see. Don't really want the gooseneck on it. I wanted a solid flatbed and then to put the tank on there. But now it has to fart around like that. Phooey. Alright. What are we doing? We're going to sell the bales. You know what? We're just going to bring the bales to this end of the field. I think that's going to be my thing right now. I think that might be a little steep. Alright, well, we're going to see you in the next stream video. I'm kind of wearing out here. Take it easy. Don't forget all the likes and subscribes and follows and notification bells and stuff. See you then.